If there's one image that can really talk about how exactly it is the first day of the first test in the Border Gavaskar Trophy between India and Australia played out, it 100% has to be this one of Ravindra Jadeja kissing the ball after taking a 5-wicket haul. Now, lest we forget, Jadeja had come back into active cricket or after active international cricket after about 5 odd months away from the game. Obviously, by his own admission, he had said so before the series that he was itching to get back, and what a return it was for him. You know, getting 5 wickets on return, he was absolutely troubling the Australian batsman. It looked like he'd never left. And in fact, speaking with the host broadcasters after the match, he actually revealed some of the secrets as to how exactly it was that he got into such good shape. Now, he credits, among other things, his stint at the NCA and the kind of workout regimen he had there. And workout regimen doesn't mean lifting weights. It refers to how it was that he was going about with his business of getting fit for the sport. He also talks about his stint in the Ranji Trophy as well as what his plans were going into this particular test match. It all made for a very fascinating listen. So here we are at Sports Today. We'll be giving you a lowdown on some of the things he said. So without further ado, let's just check in and get on with it. First off, he spoke about his recovery, and to that he said that, look, I was working hard on my bowling when I was in the NCA. I was bowling 10 to 12 hours every day, and that helped me a lot. Wow, 10 to 12 hours on a daily basis is what Ravindra Jadeja was actually putting in terms of his bowling. No wonder he didn't look rusty at all when he was bowling. It looked like he had never left. He did in fact have his rhythm, exactly the same way as it's always been. And most importantly, he was able to get plenty of wickets for the Indian team. Always a big plus. So speaking on, of course, it's not just the fact that he was bowling 10-12 hours every day. That does help get your fitness up, but you have to be playing an actual match to really shake the rustiness. And Jadeja, to his credit, did in fact play a match for Saurashtra in the Ranji Trophy against Tamil Nadu. And that is something that really helped get him back into match fitness properly. He spoke about that as well and how it helped him. Here's what he said. He said that I played a first-class game, that is a Ranji Trophy match, after a long time, and I bowled almost 42 overs. It gave me a lot of confidence to come here and play a test match. Now again, it's an interesting thing for him to say, simply because a lot of the times people had been talking about this, that, why do you rush players, international players, back into the international arena straight away? You want to give them time to shake off the rust. No better place to do it than domestic cricket, and Jadeja in fact now is very much proof of that. He played that one domestic game, bowled 42 overs, took 8 wickets, 1 in the first innings, 7 in the second innings. So he was clearly, feeling it really. He was in good form, in good rhythm, and he knew, he knew that he would be able to impact a cricket match whenever he got the chance at the international level too. But as he said, that ability of being able to play an actual match in the domestic game, that helped him a lot, and it helped him to prepare well to be able to play a test match for India. But it wasn't just that he spoke about, wasn't just his preparation. He also talked about his game plan for this particular test match. And there was a lot of talk about how this pitch would play, how much it would turn, whether it would be a rank turner, whether it would offer prodigious turn only against left-handers, all of these things. There was a lot of talk. Jadeja, for his part, had this to say about his game plans. He said very clearly, there was no bounce on the wicket. I was targeting the stump-to-stump line. The odd ball was spinning and some of the balls were going straight. And the key here is really this, that he was targeting the stump-to-stump line. He wasn't trying to do anything too difficult or too fancy. In fact, if we talk about how it was that the match played out, we discussed it during our live shows earlier on YouTube, that the Aussies were actually getting the ball to spin a lot more on average than their Indian counterparts. But it was the Indian spinners who did more damage. And one of the reasons for that is because Jadeja was letting the pitch do majority of the work for him. He was looking to target it in dangerous areas, in his case stump to stump, and let the ball do the rest. Now that's taking nothing away from how smartly Jadeja was bowling, but he used the pitch well rather than just look to bowl his conventional, try to spin it too much, knowing full well that you have a spinning track. In fact, the Aussies did try that, and some of the balls were really getting some good spin, but it wasn't impacting the batsman enough. And that's the difference between what Jadeja was doing and what Ashwin was in fact doing as well, as to compare to what the Aussies were doing. Now, it's an interesting, as I said, it was a pretty interesting talk from Jadeja. Gave you a glimpse into how the man's mind works and what it was that he was thinking, how it was that he was planning this particular match. Obviously, comeback match, there would have been some nerves, but he came back like he'd never left, and India's all the more better for it because Australia bundled out for 177 on day one. India in response 77 for one on stumps on the first day. Of course, if India in a very good position right now, they're going to win the test match, they'll remember this moment as being one of the turning moments of this particular match, because before this there had been a lot of talk about how Ashwin would figure, how it is that Akshar would do. Jadeja on his comeback outperformed everyone. Thank you so much for joining us on this particular video, guys. If you enjoy what it is that we do over here at Sports Today, please don't forget, like the video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, tap the bell icon so you know when it is we're going live or uploading a new video. Leave us a comment. How do you rate Jadeja's performance in 1 to 10? Let us know that too. And don't also forget to follow us, Sports Today, on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And last but not least, don't forget to download the SportsTech app. Thank you all once again for joining us. If you're on the channel right now, please don't forget, after this video is done, you can go out and check some other ones as well. We've done a lot of coverage through the day, largely on the Border Gavaskar Trophy, but even other interesting things from the world of sport. Check those out too. Show us your love and your support. Thank you all once again for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow on day 2 of the first test of the Border Gavaskar Trophy. For now though, goodbye and take care.